I have my second fair housing related interview with the Attorney General today. We'll be talking about the investigation procedures. See you there. Alrighty then, microphone check, and we'll get on with it.
Certainly.
How do you determine whether an investigation of a complaint is worth pursuing?
Well, we use what is called the effects test. What was the effect of the discriminatory conduct? What was the type of harm done? And how extensive was the harm?
Ah, so, it is possible that a person could act improperly, but, if the complainant is not affected, and there is no harm done, then you do not pursue the investigation?
That's the way the effects test is meant to work, yes. But, understand, when illegal discrimination occurs, the complainant is almost always affected. There is almost always harm done. There is almost always an effect.
Okay. What if the discriminatory action is unintentional?
How so?
I mean, suppose a blind person who uses a service dog is searching for an apartment to rent. So, he calls into a licensed property manager and asks if the property is pet-friendly. The property manager replies that the property has a no pets policy. Clearly in that case, illegal discrimination has occurred. But, it was not intentional, because the caller never mentioned that the so-called pet was in fact a service dog. What if the handicapped caller filed a complaint? Would you pursue an investigation?
We would still apply the effects test. Again, what was the effect? What type of harm was done? How extensive was the harm? If as a result of the conversation, the blind person with the service dog were prohibited from renting there, then, we would pursue an investigation.
Ah.
And in the investigation, we would find out some facts. First, that the inquiring caller did not inform the property manager about his handicap. Second, we would find out that the caller never told the property manager that the pet was a service dog. Finally, and this is very important, the investigation would reveal that the property manager who told the caller about the strict no pets policy had a real estate license. And, as a real estate licensee, the property manager has a duty to give a more thorough answer. Licensees are held to a higher standard. And that property manager should have known better. He breached his duty to give a more thorough answer. He had a duty to explain to the caller that the strict no pets policy excludes service dogs, and that the use of a service dog cannot prohibit a person from renting.
So, even though the discrimination was not intentional, you would still find that the property manager's answer was incomplete, and therefore it was negligent?
Well, Jack, let me take you back to your real estate license education for a minute. What is the legal definition of negligence?
Negligence? It means breach of a duty that was owed.
Exactly. We would likely argue that the property manager's answer was negligent.
And when you apply the effects test, you would find that the negligent answer had the effect of discrimination against a protected class.
Most likely. Yes.
Wow. I had no idea.
Well, now you realize the importance of evaluating your policies carefully. Do they warn against unintentional discrimination? Do they provide examples? Well, do they? Because discrimination against a protected class, regardless of intent, is illegal. Even unintentional discriminatory effects can involve punitive damages to the person who was harmed.
Punitive damages? Does that mean punishment damages?
Correct. Punitive damages are meant to punish the wrongdoer.
What is the statutory limit on punitive damages for unintentional discrimination?
Well, that's the kicker. There is no statutory limit on punitive damages. The damages can be high. Huge.
Like high enough to put a real estate company out of business?
Unfortunately, yes. Punitive damages from fair housing violations can cause financial ruin.
Wowee. And other damages besides punitive damages could apply too, right?
That's correct.
You know, I really need to get back to the office and take a gander at my office policies.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for your time, Madam Attorney General.